Here's something that doesn't quite add up. Most people think becoming a millionaire is hard because investing is complicated. Too many accounts, too many decisions, too much information to sort through before you even get started. But it isn't. The math behind it is almost embarrassingly simple. Put a little money in every month, leave it alone, let time do the rest. That's the whole strategy. It's not a secret. It's not gate-kept. You can calculate the exact number on your phone in about 10 seconds. So, here's the question that actually matters. If the math is this simple, why does almost nobody end up there? And the answer isn't what you'd expect. They don't lose to the market. Most people who fail at this never actually lose money to a bad investment or a crash they couldn't have predicted. They lose to something happening inside their own brain. There's a pattern that plays out quietly in almost every single person who starts investing and then stops. It doesn't feel like a pattern when you're in it. It feels like a one-off decision, a reasonable reaction to a scary moment. But it repeats, almost exactly the same way, for almost everyone. I think of it as the financial safety loop. Here's how it works. Your brain isn't actually built to care about long-term wealth. It's built to care about survival, right now, today. And to your brain, uncertainty looks a lot like danger, even when the danger isn't real. So, it goes something like this. Something happens. Maybe the market drops. Maybe there's a headline about a recession. Maybe you just lose your job, or someone close to you does. And suddenly, the ground feels less solid than it did yesterday. That triggers fear. Not dramatic, panicked fear necessarily. Just a low hum of, wait, is this actually safe? And fear makes you wait. Just for a bit, you tell yourself. Just until things settle down. Just until it feels safer to get back in. But waiting gives your brain room to overthink. And once you're overthinking, every reason to start looks smaller than every reason to hold off just a little longer. And overthinking, almost every time, quietly turns into simply not investing at all, which means no wealth. Not because the math stopped working, because you stopped participating in it. And here's the part that makes this so hard to catch in yourself. The loop doesn't feel irrational while it's happening. It feels responsible. It feels like patience. It feels like waiting for a better moment. It's only when you zoom out, years later, that you can see it for what it actually was. If any part of that sounded familiar, that's not a coincidence. That's basically everyone. Let me show you what this actually costs. Not in theory, in numbers. 2 people, same starting point, same $100 a month, same index fund, same average 10% annual return for 40 years. On paper, they should end up in roughly the same place. They don't. For the first 10 years, their accounts look almost identical. Both of them have put in about $12,000. Both accounts are sitting around $20,000. Nothing dramatic has happened yet. Then the market drops. A real drop, the kind that makes the news for weeks. Marcus watches his account lose almost a third of its value in a few months, and something in him just says, get out. So he does. He sells everything, moves it to cash, and tells himself he'll get back in once things feel safer again. Brian watches the exact same drop happen to his account. He doesn't feel calm about it. Nobody does. But he leaves it alone anyway, mostly because he's decided in advance that this is exactly the kind of moment he's supposed to sit through, not react to. Marcus stays in cash for about 4 years, long enough for the fear to fade, long enough for the headlines to feel calmer. He starts investing again, same $100 a month. But he never really recovers the confidence to increase it, even as his income grows over the years. Some of those raises just quietly become a slightly nicer lifestyle instead. Brian keeps going, and as his income grows, so does what he puts in. 100 becomes 300 in his 30s. 300 becomes 600 in his 40s. It's not dramatic, it's just automatic. One small increase at a time. Now fast forward to year 40. Marcus has contributed a bit over $43,000 of his own money across those decades. His account is sitting at roughly $320,000. Brian has contributed around $224,000 over the same 40 years. His account is sitting at over $1.3 million. Same market, same average return, same starting decision to invest $100 a month. The difference wasn't the math. It was 4 years of fear and everything that quietly followed from it. So how do you actually avoid becoming Marcus? Because I don't think the answer is don't feel fear. That's not realistic. And honestly, it's not even useful advice. You will feel it. Everyone does. when their account drops in front of them. The real fix happens earlier than that moment. It happens in what you decide, before the fear ever shows up. This is what the actual $100 a month strategy is for, not as some separate topic, but as the thing that makes the loop harder to fall into in the first place. Start with an emergency fund. Before you invest a single dollar, not because it grows your wealth, it doesn't, but because it removes the exact kind of threat that kicks the loop off in the first place. If a job loss or a crisis can't touch your investments, your brain has a lot less to panic about when the market gets rough. Then, invest consistently. $100 a month into a simple, low-cost index fund. At an average 10% annual return, that becomes around $20,000 after 10 years, over $227,000 after 30, and past $637,000 after 40. And if you increase what you invest as your income grows, the same $100 that started this can realistically put you past $1 million. But the number was never really the point of this video. The real shift is deciding in advance, before you're standing in front of a scary headline, what kind of investor you're actually going to be when it happens. Because that decision, made now, while everything feels calm, is the one thing that actually determines whether you end up like Marcus or like Brian. And here's the part I actually find kind of hopeful about all of this. You don't need more money to fix this. You don't need a better strategy, or a finance degree, or some secret most people don't know about. The math was never the hard part. You just need to catch the loop the next time it starts. Notice the fear. Notice the urge to wait. And this time, do the opposite of what feels safe in the moment. That's it. That's the whole difference between the two of them. I'm curious, when the next crash comes, will you become Marcus or Brian? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more videos that make money feel simpler instead of more confusing, subscribe, because that's exactly what we do here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.